Oh, hello, I'm a flower, and what I do is I have these lovely bright colourful petals, and they attract insects who come and see me because they know I'm going to give them a lovely drink of nectar, which is a sweet sugary liquid inside me flower. And when they go for a drink, what they do is they pick up pollen from me, or they drop off pollen from another flower. Isn't that lovely? And then, what happens? Well, I make seeds. When a pollen lands on top of me, I make seeds, and these get to the ground and grow into a new plant. Also, I'm a proper plant. Flowering plants have got proper leaves, and they've got proper roots that hold them in the ground and let them get the water. And I've got a stem which carries the water all the way up from the roots into my leaves and up to the flower as well. That's all from me. Bye.
Hey, wow, look at me, I'm grass, yeah, grass, I grow everywhere, and yes, I'm a type of flowering plant, although you don't really see pretty flowers that all the bees and things want to come and look at me. No, I make long flowers that sort of stick up away from the grass, and we wave around in the wind, and hey, guess what, yeah, the wind just like blows all the pollen off of us, and it goes flying away, and it gets caught on the female bits of other grass plants that are just like down the wind, you know, and it just like catches the pollen, and then we make seeds, and then like the seeds just get blown off and land on the floor and grow to make new grass. But hey, we're like really normal flowering plants in other ways, you know, we've got proper roots, and yeah, we've got like leaves. You don't think of us having leaves, but that's what a grass blade is. It's a leaf. Okay, take care.
Well, hello there. I am a type of plant called a fern. Okay, now then, you might find me living in damp and shady places. In fact, if you won't find me very much in places that are exposed, because I really can't stand the winter and the cold. You know, it doesn't do me any favours whatsoever. Now then, we do photosynthesis. That's because we're green and got lots of chlorophyll in, but our leaves are actually called fronds. Fronds, fronds. Okay, you can see they're like lots of tiny little leaves all joining together like to form these very pretty little groups. They're lovely. Anyway, the big difference between us and flowering plants is that we don't produce any seeds. What we actually make are things called spores. And there are two stages to our life cycle. The spores that form on the underside of our fronds, what they do is they get blown off, and when they land, they grow into like small versions of us, but not proper ferns, you see. And then they have to wait. They have to wait for some sex cells from other ferns to reach them, and then that turns them into proper adult ferns, just like us. Seems a bit complicated, really, doesn't it? But there you go. That's the way things are. Goodbye for now.
Oh, hello. I'm a moss. I'm a really small type of plant, and I live in quite damp habitats. I can't really survive if it's dry. I just die. Anyway, we're really small-leaved plants. I mean, you can't really see a leaf. We just look like little green sponges that live on rocks and like gravestones and things like that. Anyway, we don't really have roots, but we just kind of cling on to things like stones, and we can photosynthesize like all plants, of course. We're nice and green, got lots of chlorophyll, and well, how do we reproduce? Well, we're a bit like ferns. We don't have flowers, we just make spores. And just like ferns, the spores just kind of get blown off, and when they land, they kind of grow into a small version until they're properly ready enough to grow up into proper mosses. Well, that's enough from me. Bye.
Well, hello. I am a conifer. Conifers are trees that are also flowering plants, of course. We have lots of chlorophyll, like all plants, lovely and green. Now, we have long, needle-shaped leaves. Now, this helps us to survive in very cold or very dry habitats because we don't lose too much water from them. Now then, We don't muck around with making flowers. What we do is we make cones. The small ones are male, and the pollen inside gets blown off from one tree onto another. And hopefully some of it will land in the female cones. Now these are much, much bigger. These are the ones that you see falling on the ground. And when the pollen gets inside, it fertilizes the female parts and forms seeds. Not spores like those silly mosses and those silly ferns. We make seeds just like flowering plants. And then when they land on the ground, they grow. Quite often they have little wings attached to them, so they sort of blow away and land far away from the trees so they can grow on their own place. Okay? Thank you very much. Goodbye.